In this video, I'm going to talk to you about one divorce option that might be very surprising to some of you. And that's the option to wait, to not file for divorce at the time that you make the decision to divorce. So hear me out on this. Normally, when a couple decides to call it quits, it goes like this. The couple decides, or one of the couple decides, that the marriage is over. And they hire divorce professionals, lawyers, collaborative or litigating, mediators, financial specialists, custody evaluators, whoever they think they need, and they file for divorce. And then they spend the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months to divide up assets and create a custody plan. All the while, conflict is running very high. There may be some sabotage going on if one spouse doesn't want the divorce, and things feel very, very difficult. Then the couple tries to figure out their future living on half of what they had with twice the amount of expenses. Kids are going to bear the brunt of this split. Parents are stressed, and everything is really hard for a really long time. In some cases, where there's been an extremely unhealthy or unsafe dynamic, an immediate exit is the only option, and someone needs to file for divorce, and there needs to be temporary orders put into place. Staying another minute with the person is not viable. But for the majority of couples on the brink of a divorce, there's a lot more latitude to take your time and map it out. And I would submit to you that the divorce is going to happen much faster, it's going to be much less expensive, and it's going to be much less traumatic if couples have the maturity to handle it this way. So here's what that looks like. The couple decides the marriage is over, and there may be some time where one spouse has decided and the other hasn't, and that's a difficult time. But once both partners have gotten to the place where they accept that the marriage is over, they can then map out a 5-year financial, parenting, and emotional exit plan. I say 5 years. It could be 1 year, it could be 2 years, whatever the couple can tolerate. And then they take steps to build reserves up. So a divorce savings account maybe, or someone that needs to go back to school and get more skills, or if they need to pay off debts, or maybe they need to buy another home while they're still married. Then they also have time to prepare the children for life with parents living apart. So they'll spend time with the kids separately. They'll reassure the kids that the relationship is changing, but that the kids will always be loved by both, and that the family will always be a family. And then once the couple meets all the goals that they've set for themselves, and everybody's financially stable, and the kids are stable and comfortable, that their life is changing now, then the couple hires divorce professionals, lawyers, collaborative or litigating, mediators, etc., and so on and so forth, and then they file for the divorce. It makes so much sense. And what I have found in my practice is when folks come to me after that time period of adjustment, the divorce happens easily, quickly, and very inexpensively. The proceedings are completed in a minimal amount of time. In Florida, there's just a 20-day waiting period, so a couple could be divorced within 30 days of the date they first come to me. We've got 2 individuals who land on their feet. They're financially stable, the kids are happy, the parents are relieved and ready to move on. Now, I know that's a very ideal situation, and I'm somewhat of a Pollyanna person to think that that could happen, but I've seen it happen. And I'll also say that if that ideal situation isn't possible, there are still a lot of good options that do not involve traditional litigation, which will harm relationships, stress out a family, cost a lot of money, and take a long time. You can read about most of those on my website at www.masterscdc.com. Of course, I always love to talk to you personally. If you'd like to reach out, my phone number is 386-271-8044.